All right, everyone, grab your popcorn because it's official. Donald Trump is set to become the 47th President of the United States. Whether you're cheering, groaning, or just here for the drama, there's no denying this plot twist has people talking. I mean, really talking. Think of it as the ultimate sequel, like one of those movie franchises that just keeps coming back, only this one involves, well, the whole world. So, what happened? How did we get here? And what does it all mean for the future of America? Let's break it down. And trust me, it's going to be a wild ride. First, the basics. Trump faced off against Kamala Harris after Joe Biden stepped back from running. That's right. Biden decided to exit the political stage and, presumably, spend more time enjoying ice cream and classic cars. Enter Harris, hoping to break barriers and make history, but in the end, it was the comeback king who stole the show. But seriously, how did Trump pull off this comeback? Let's rewind to election night. The votes were counted, the swing states were buzzing, and by the end of it, Trump surpassed the magic number, 270 electoral votes. If you're confused by the US Electoral College system, don't worry, so are most Americans. It's like a political maze. Win a state by one vote, and you get all its electoral votes. Unless we're talking about Maine and Nebraska. But let's not get lost in the weeds. So, why did people vote for Trump? Turns out, a lot of voters were focused on three major issues: the economy, immigration, and national security. Let's start with the economy. Inflation had hit harder than a reality TV scandal. Rents, groceries, gas, everything felt more expensive. For many, Trump's pitch as a savvy businessman who knows how to make deals struck a chord. It didn't hurt that he promised to make things great again. It's a slogan, it's a mantra, it's basically political comfort food at this point. Next on the list, immigration. Remember that infamous wall? Yep, that's making a comeback too. Trump doubled down on promises to secure the US-Mexico border, make deportations easier, and clamp down on illegal crossings. It's controversial, it's divisive, but it's a huge part of his platform. Plus, Trump wants to change how citizenship is granted to children born in the US. No more automatic citizenship unless at least one parent is already a citizen. Critics called it a step too far. Supporters said it was about protecting American interests. The debate? Oh, it's only just heating up. Now, back to the voters. This time, Trump made serious inroads with the working class. Rising costs of living, wage stagnation, and housing issues led many voters, some who once voted Democrat, to place their bets on Trump. The hope? Better jobs, lower prices, and a shot at stability. When your paycheck barely stretches to cover the basics, big promises sound pretty appealing. But here's the kicker: the media. Trump's been in the spotlight for what feels like forever, right? Endless headlines, constant coverage, court cases, scandals, you name it. Some thought it had hurt his chances, but if anything, it boosted his outsider taking on the system image. Critics called him dangerous. Supporters called him the last great hope. Either way, it's like reality TV on steroids. And then there's social media. Platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, became a major player, helping Trump connect directly with his base and dominate conversations. All right, so what now? With Trump back in the White House, what can we expect? Let's start with domestic policy. If you thought the deep state was just something from conspiracy forums, think again. Trump's been talking about purging what he calls the shadowy bureaucracy for a while. Expect a focus on reorganizing the judiciary and federal agencies. Critics warn this could undermine democratic institutions. Trump? He claims it's all about draining the swamp. Trump also wants to bring back Schedule F, an order making it easier to fire certain government employees. He says it'll weed out corruption. Others worry it'll turn civil servants into political pawns. But that's not all. There's more coming on immigration, with new potential deportation measures and even plans for internment camps. And yes, that's already drawing plenty of concern from human rights advocates. And let's not forget climate policy. Biden's administration made a hard push for green energy. Trump? Not so much. He wants to boost domestic oil production and roll back green energy incentives. His goal? Energy independence, but at the expense of climate targets. Oh, and the Paris Climate Agreement? Trump's ready to wave it goodbye. Again. Then there's foreign policy. Trump's motto, America First, is back on the table. NATO allies, don't get too comfy. Trump wants them to up their defense budgets. And Ukraine? That's a giant question mark. Trump's hinted he might pull or cut back US support. Europe, meanwhile, might have to dig deep into its own pockets. And China? Expect trade wars and tariffs. Trump wants to limit Chinese influence in American infrastructure. The goal? Protect US industries, but it could mean higher costs for everyday products. Goodbye cheap gadgets. Hello new tariffs. In short, Trump's presidency Part 2 is shaping up to be something. Whether you see it as a triumphant return or a political earthquake, the impact is going to be huge. Domestically, internationally, and everywhere in between. Buckle up, because the next few years are going to be a bumpy ride. One thing's for sure, politics just got a whole lot more dramatic. Again. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember, opinions may differ, but good popcorn is universal. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and maybe keep an eye on your social feed. Things are about to heat up.